What happens when you combine the chaotic item slinging fun of Mario Kart with the speed and tricks of SSX and the crazy clothed animals of Party Animals? You get this new indie game, Slopecrashers. And that is exactly what Slopecrashers is. A crazy hybrid of Mario Kart and SSX where you're rushing down mountains as a snowboarding animal. It is just the right amount of goofy in all the right ways, and due to the game's arcade style and inspiration, it turns out it's a lot of fun. The gameplay is simple. Jumping speeds you up at the start of the race, and as you progress down the mountain, you will gain boost for doing tricks, allowing you to speed up when necessary, and your character also has a glider that can be used to help redirect you in the air. Simple but very fun due to the speed, diverging paths on the course, and all the tricks. Now, as the name implies, you'll be hitting the slopes quite often in this game, but there are 7 total locations in Slopecrashers, each with smaller courses found within them, but not all of them are snowy mountains. Some are neon-filled cities, forests, sand dunes, or even in the ocean, offering a variety of locations you simply wouldn't expect from a snowboarding game, adding to that wacky and fun nature of this game. Now, Slopecrashers actually has a handful of different ways to play. First up, there's the campaign mode, putting you in a variety of different levels ranging from strictly racing missions to stunt-based missions and more. And each of these levels has a handful of challenges that you are tasked with completing, earning you medals, allowing you to progress in the campaign. There's also a Grand Prix mode for that standard Mario Kart style racing experience. And there's even an arcade mode where you can select from the 7 locations in the game and compete in multiple different game modes of your choosing. And finally, there's multiplayer, whether you want to take it online to a lobby and squad up with friends across any platform with crossplay, or you just want to do some couch co-op racing. It has a ton of offerings as far as multiplayer is concerned. And the game itself just has a ton to offer as far as different ways to play. And we haven't even dove into the different level types yet. So obviously you have your standard Mario Kart style races that we talked about earlier, featuring items to mess with your opponents. But you also have some other standard game modes in this game, such as Time Attack, where you're fighting for the best clear time, but also Stunt Show, where you're trying to find the highest score by doing tricks. But on top of these more traditional game modes that you see in games like this, there's also these wacky ones that really I wasn't expecting and added another fun element. The first is the slalom, and I think I'm saying that one correctly, but this tasks you with racing to the finish line as fast as possible. However, the course is littered with alternating red and blue gates that when passed through will take seconds off your total time. The catch about this is you have to go through different gates in alternating fashion. So you have to go through red, then blue, then back to red. If you go through 2 blue gates back to back, you'll only get time taken off for the first blue gate. It's a really fun game mode that challenges you to be on your toes and alternate back and forth between these gates, which is a little tricky at the speeds you get going to. The next wacky game mode is Target Takedown, and this litters the course with snowmen all throughout it, and your goal is to hit them with snowballs, or at least they look like snowballs, as you fly down the mountain, destroying them. If you run into a snowman, it doesn't count. You have to knock it out with the snowball, and by doing this, you'll increase your score, and the goal is to have the most destroyed before you reach the finish line, which is just kind of fun and goofy. Next up is Boost Collector, and this tasks you with getting as many item boxes as possible during the race because they give you a super speed boost. So the more you collect, the faster you will be throughout the entire race. And this one I found to be probably the most fun simply because how fast you're moving throughout this entire race. You are scooting. The final game mode is one I really wasn't anticipating in this snowboard racing hybrid game, but it turns out to be quite a bit of fun, and that's the boss battle mode. And this has a giant snowman in front of you with glowing red eyes, and it is heading down the mountain. Your task is to follow it down the mountain, keep pace with it, and hit it with items. As you hit this with items, you will then take down its health bar, and the goal is to knock out the snowman before you reach the finish line. Again, I wasn't really anticipating a boss battle in this game, and I wasn't sure how it was going to go down, but as I was continuing to chase the snowman, it started throwing out smaller snowmen at me that would block my projectiles. So it turned into this really fun little tactics game where you had to strategize when you were actually going to throw your items to deal damage to the snowman to not have them blocked by the smaller snowmen. It was kind of cool, and I was not anticipating it in this game at all. Now, as you're doing all these different game modes, you are also going to be earning currency that you can use to upgrade your animals and buy them additional clothing. And these things can range from different hats, clothes, neck items, and goggles, and customizing your goofy looking animals is definitely one of the highlights of the game. And as you complete levels with your animals, you'll level them up, unlocking more items to buy and customize them with. On top of this, you can also buy new snowboards and gliders, and some are exceptionally silly, like a donut that you can race down the mountains on. Now, before we get out of here, let's talk about performance and graphics here. I played this game entirely on the Nintendo Switch 2, and I had zero issues with frame dips at all. I didn't see anything, and the game ran at a consistent 60 frames per second. The game's simplistic style graphics are very charming, and the amount of color added in the environments is what really makes this game pop. It just like the neon level in particular really sticks out in my head. The game is just very bright and colorful, and I really liked that aspect. On top of this, some of the customization options that you can get for your animal add to this color and glow, like the necklace that is basically Christmas lights, or the Christmas tree hat that you can get that lights up. It just adds to the overall bright and very fun feel that this game has in terms of its art style. All in all, the game looks and runs great on the Switch 2, so I'd imagine on other platforms it's also looking and running great. In conclusion, Slopecrashers is a game that takes inspiration and ideas from classic games like Mario Kart and SSX and slaps this weird and wacky coat of paint on top to give you a unique new experience. There are so many different courses featuring wildly different environments from one another and shocking amount of game modes, and even online crossplay to play with others no matter the platform. The animals that you play and customize add to that goofy and wacky charm of this game, and unlocking new outfits for them is definitely one of the highlights of the game in my opinion. I just love making my lemur look as silly as possible. It's just a lot of fun. This indie game is clocking in at $18 on the eShop, which I think is a reasonable price for the amount Slopecrashers has to offer, from its game modes to the animal customization to even online multiplayer with the crossplay. If you're a fan of games like Mario Kart and SSX or snowboarding games in general, maybe give this game a go. But that is going to be it for my review of Slopecrashers. Another shorter review here today, but this one is definitely quite a bit of fun. Also want to give a shout out to Byteparrot for sending me over a review code for Slopecrashers. This game is a lot of fun. I'm glad I was able to check it out early and be able to share my thoughts with you guys, so maybe you guys pick this game up too. But like I said, that is going to be it. Let me know in the comments below if you're planning to pick up Slopecrashers, if this is a game that interests you. But also leave a like, comment, and subscribe, because it helps me out, helps the video out, and helps the channel out immensely. But until next time, peace.